If you look up at the night sky, depending on the clouds in the sky or the light pollution, you may see countless stars covering the sky above you, or you may see no stars at all. In cities and other densely populated areas, for example, light pollution makes it almost impossible to see the stars. But in some dark areas, you can look up to discover the splendor of the sky and the sparkle of the stars. Stars are massive celestial bodies composed mostly of hydrogen and helium that emit light and heat from the churning nuclear formations within them. With the exception of the Sun, the points of light that we see in the sky are all stars located light years away from Earth. They are the building blocks of galaxies, of which there are billions in the universe. It is impossible for humans to know how many stars there are, but astronomers estimate that in our Milky Way galaxy alone there are about 300 billion stars. The Sun is now about 4.6 billion years old, and is considered a medium-sized yellow dwarf star, and astronomers expect that it will remain on its main sequence for several billion years. Thousands of stars disappeared from the sky over a period of 70 years, which prompted a team of astronomers to shed light on this phenomenon. But to find out the real reason for the disappearance of the stars, write to me in the comments, because this needs a full episode of its own. And because it is a way to understand the disappearance of stars linked to time and space. I explained this in the first video in this channel. Here are the 10 brightest stars discovered to this day. Let's get started. One, Sirius. Sirius, also known as the dog star, is the brightest star in the night sky. Its name comes from the Greek word for scorching. Many early cultures had names for it, and it had special meanings in terms of rituals and the deities they saw in the sky. It's actually a double star system, with a very bright primary and a dimmer secondary star. Sirius is visible from late August, in the early mornings, until mid to late March, and lies 8.6 light-years away from us. Astronomers classify it as a type A1VM star, based on their method of classifying stars by their temperatures and other characteristics. 2. Canopus. Canopus was well known to the ancients and is named either for an ancient city in northern Egypt or the helmsman for Menelaus, a mythological king of Sparta. It's the second brightest star in the night sky, and mainly visible from the southern hemisphere. Observers who live in the southern regions of the northern hemisphere can also see it low in their skies during certain parts of the year. Canopus lies 74 light-years away from us and forms part of the constellation Carina. Astronomers classify it as a type F star, which means it's slightly hotter and more massive than the Sun. It's also a more aged star than our Sun. 3. Rigil Kentaurus. Rigil Kentaurus, also known as Alpha Centauri, is the third brightest star in the night sky. Its name literally means foot of the centaur and comes from the term Rijl al-Qamris in Arabic. It's one of the most famous stars in the sky, and first-time travelers to the southern hemisphere are often eager to view it. Rigil Kentaurus is not just one star. It's actually part of a three-star system, with each star looping around with the others in an intricate dance. It lies 4.3 light-years away from us and is part of the constellation Centaurus. Astronomers classify Rigil Kentaurus as a type G2V star, similar to the Sun's classification. It may be about the same age as our Sun and is in roughly the same evolutionary period in its life. 4. Arcturus. Arcturus is the brightest star in the northern celestial hemisphere. The first three stars on this list are actually located in the southern celestial sphere, although they can be seen seasonally from Earth's northern hemisphere. It is the fourth star in order of brightness, which is the brightest in the northern celestial hemisphere, with a magnitude of -0.04. It's an orange giant about 37 light-years away, and is most prominent in the spring sky. It is shown in the image compared to the Sun. In ancient Greece it was known as the guardian bear, from which it derives its name, which is a reference to its proximity to the planets Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. 5. Vega. The fifth brightest star. It is the principal component of Lyra, boreal summer constellation, visible up to 40 degrees south. It is a white star of the main sequence, which means that it is still transforming its hydrogen into helium as a result of combustion. It was taken as zero value to be a reference with the other star magnitudes, but further measurements have diverted this value to plus 0.03. Along with Altair, Alpha Aquili, and Deneb, Alpha Cygni, it forms the so-called summer triangle, an important reference for the night sky orientation of this boreal season. There is also a winter triangle, formed by Betelgeuse, Sirius, and Procyon. In Hellenistic classical mythology, it is the lyre of the Muses, invented by Hermes, who gave it to Apollo in reparation for a burglary he committed against him. Apollo in turn gave it to Orpheus, and when he died, Zeus turned the lyre into a constellation. 6. Capella. It is the most important star in the constellation of Auriga, the driver, and, with magnitude plus 0.08, the sixth brightest in the entire sky. This is the closest first magnitude star to the north celestial pole, making it impossible to observe from latitudes below 40s. It is located about 42 light-years from us, and it is a multiple star system, consisting of two yellow binaries. 7. Rigel. The seventh brightest star around the night sky is a star system located in the constellation of Orion. It has a visual magnitude of plus 0.18 and is found about 860 light-years from our solar system. The main component is a blue-white giant, which is identified with the left foot of Orion, the right one as we see. The constellation of Orion, the giant hunter in Greek mythology, was the subject of extensive work in this very blog, and can be found in the section Constellations. 8. Procyon. This star, the most important of the constellation of Canis Minor, the Lesser Dog, is ranked 8th on our list. Is a binary whose primary component is a white-yellow subgiant. It lies at an approximate distance of 11 light-years from Earth. It forms, along with Betelgeuse and Sirius, the so-called winter triangle, already quoted above. Along with Sirius, the other dog star, was already worshipped by the ancient Egyptians, and appears in Babylonian texts. 9. Achernar. The ninth brightest star night sky is Achernar. This bluish-white supergiant star lies about 139 light-years from Earth and is classified a Type B star. Its name comes from the Arabic term Akhir Nar, which means end of the river. This is very appropriate since Achernar is part of the constellation Eridanus, the river. It's part of the southern hemisphere skies, but can be seen from some parts of the northern hemisphere such as the southern United States and southern Europe and Asia. 10. Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse is the 10th brightest star in the sky and makes the upper left shoulder of Gorion, the hunter. It's a red giant classified as a type M1, and it's about 13,000 times brighter than our sun. Betelgeuse is located 1,500 light-years away. The name comes from the Arabic term Yad al-Jaz, which means arm of the mighty. Later astronomers translated it as Betelgeuse. To get an idea of the size of this star, if Betelgeuse were placed at the center of our Sun, its outer atmosphere would extend beyond Jupiter's orbit. It is very large because it has expanded with age. Eventually, it will explode as a supernova sometime in the next few thousand years. No one knows exactly when that explosion will happen. However, astronomers have a good idea of what will happen. When this stellar death occurs, Betelgeuse will temporarily become the brightest object in the night sky. After that, it would slowly fade away as the explosion expanded. There may also be a pulsar behind it, consisting of a rapidly spinning neutron star.